Hi guys, my name's Leslie and I'm a farmer in Livingston County. I farm with my father, my uncle, and my husband, and we farm things like corn, soybeans, green beans, peas, and beets. Now I know you guys had a lot of questions about the lifestyle of a farmer, so we're gonna show you around and kind of show you what we do here. I went to college for animal science, which isn't required to be a farmer, but there are lots of different things that farming involves that you could go to school for that would help you better to become a more well-rounded farmer, such as mechanical things like a diesel mechanic, technology things, because a lot of these tractors run on GPS, or things like animal science and plant science. There's a really vast, wide range of things that you could do that would help you be a farmer in the future. We have a lot of different equipment here on the farm, and every farm requires different pieces to do different things. This is the planter, so this will plant corn and soybeans and green beans. It unfolds for the field, but when it has to go down the road, it folds back up very narrow. Tractors can be similar to cars. There are many different makes and models in different sizes, depending on what you need to use it for. Over here we have a larger tractor tilling the land before we plant it. There are many different ways to harvest the crops, and some crops have different harvesters or ways of harvesting. Here we have a chopper, which then processes feed, which will be fermented for cows like dairy cattle. Then here we have the mower, which mows the grass before the chopper uses it. And lastly, we have a merger, which takes wide strips of grass and merges it into a smaller row so that the chopper can intake it. Some of you have questions about the size of our equipment. Well, here's Lil, and as I back up, you can see that she's sitting in front of one of our largest pieces of equipment. This is one of our largest tractors. Equipment requires a lot of maintenance, which means we have to check it continually to make sure all the parts are running and that it has all the fluids it might need to run properly for a really long day. Like I said, technology can differ, but we have a lot of options here. We have our iPad and our monitor, which are both monitoring the seed, and then they can record them so the farmer can look back in the year and see what kind of seed was planted where. And then at harvest time, it collects lots of yield data, which means how much of the plant was harvested. Now we're in the cab of the chopper. The chopper also has a lot of technology, and we have our screen here, which has gauges so we can monitor how the chopper is operating throughout the day, as well as yield data like we talked about in the previous tractor. One of your questions for me was, what is my favorite season? And I think that that's a pretty tough question to answer, because honestly there's something that I love about every season. Right now it's spring, which is planting season, and that's really exciting because it brings the promise and potential of all the crops that we're going to plant for the rest of the year. Summer is fun and we love to watch the crops grow, and in the fall we get to harvest the crops, which is exciting because it's the payoff for all the hard work we've done all year long. And in the winter, it's a nice change of pace, and it gives us an opportunity to relax a little bit and rest up for the next season ahead. As I said, spring is planting season. So today, that's our main focus. I am tilling the ground, and then the planter will come in behind me and plant the seeds into the ground. Now, one thing though to keep in mind about farming is that no two farms are the exact same. And just like in life when you have to problem solve, there are many different ways that you can achieve a goal. So just keep that in mind accomplish the same goal. Okay guys, this is the planter in action. Everybody wave hi to Farmer Rock. This big tank on the back carries fertilizer, which helps the plants grow. And then we can see each of those little yellow boxes on the back is filled with seed, and it puts it into the ground in these little rows. And let's see if we can find a seed. Oh, there's one. Pack him back in so he grows and has lots of soil over top. Hopefully soon they will be out of the ground and growing big. Neighbor is actually growing peas. So these are itty bitty baby peas. As you can see, they're only a couple inches tall. But soon they will be big. Probably by the end of June they will be harvested, and then they will go to a freezing facility, and then they'll end up in the grocery store where you could purchase them. We also grew some peas, but ours aren't that big yet. Ours are just teeny tiny because we planted them later than our neighbor did. But from the time they go into the ground to the time they are harvested is about 60 days. So by the end of June, they'll be harvested and headed on their way to the freezing facility. This is the view that the driver would have when chopping alfalfa for cows. Here we have an operator harvesting corn in a combine. This is how beets would be harvested. Beets are harvested by a beet topper, which digs the beets out of the ground and cuts off the green leafy tops on the top portion. There are many beets grown in our area, and we have a canning facility here in Mount Morris, which is one of the largest ones east of the Mississippi. Lastly, we have a combine harvesting soybeans.